Good evening, everyone that might be tuned in on YouTube for the live stream. We have two board members present here in the boardroom. We're just waiting on one more for a quorum, so if you'll hang tight, we can get the meeting started shortly. Mark, is that you on the call? Can you hear me?
Yes, this is Mark.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
Ramona's here. She just stepped out of the boardroom, so as soon as she comes back, then we can call the meeting to order. Bessie is also here in the boardroom.
Okay.
Okay, Ramona's back, so if you want to call the meeting to order.
Okay. Good morning, good evening, everyone. Board members and staff that are here and out there. The ones that are listening in. We're having a special board meeting this evening. I'd like to call the special board meeting to order. Tanya, would you call the roll, please?
Yes. Bessie Allen,
Here.
Tommy McCabe, Gary Grandson, Ramona Nelwood here, Mark Little,
I'm present.
Madam Board President, there is a quorum.
Okay, thank you. We have 3 board members present, so that makes a quorum. As we go along, others will probably join us. We have the adoption of the agenda. Board members, we have new business. There's a resignation of a school board member, Tommy McCabe, effective December 31st, 2020, for his next term, the next 4-year term. And then there's an executive session if need to. Under personnel, we have a new hire. The superintendent's contract offer is on there for the 2 years. And then 4.2, discussion and possible action to hire security director for the school year 2020-21. And then discussion and possible action to approve the hire of transportation director for school year 2020-2021. Next, after that is retirement of Pam's counselor to be effective December 31st, 2020. Then 4.5 is also discussion possible action to approve the resignation of Union High School welding teacher to be effective December 18, 2020. And closing items, 5.1 is adjournment. That's the size of our agenda for tonight. Board members?
I want to go ahead and motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Okay, Ramona motions to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Mark seconds.
Okay, Mark seconds the motion. Is there any other questions or? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mark,
Mark, are you in favor?
I vote yes. This is Board Member Little.
He votes yes.
okay. 3 votes yes. No opposition and no abstention. Motion is carried. Now we have an agenda. Going on to new business, we have 2.1, discussion and possible action to accept the Pinon Unified School District Board Members' resignation, which is Mr. Tommy McKay. The resignation to be effective December 31st, 2020 for his next 4 years term. This term is over, so that he was reelected and he's resigning from that one, the 4-year term.
Madam President, members of the board, in your board packet, a copy of Mr. McCabe's resignation letter from the board was included. As stated, it is basically his current term goes through December 31st. He is resigning from the new term, which would begin January 1st and go for 4 years. So this is the board accepting is kind of a formality, but once the board takes action tonight, I will take that resignation and the board minutes and send them to the county, Navajo County Superintendent, who will declare the position as a vacant, and she will go through the process to appoint a board member to fill that vacant position. In the same process that was used when board member Lapahi resigned and board member Grandson was appointed to fill the remainder of that term. So she would advertise the position, and the county superintendent makes the final selection and appointment to the board.
Board members, I need a motion and a second if we want Mr. Tommy McKay to resign on, as he requested.
I'll go ahead and motion to accept, the Pinon Unified School District Board Members' resignation, Mr. Tommy McCabe, effective December 31st, 2020 for the next 4-year term.
Do I hear a second?
Madam Chair, I'll go ahead and make that second.
Mark seconds.
Okay. Mark seconds the motion. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 I vote yes.
Okay, 3 in favor, 0 opposed, none abstaining. Motion is carried. Next item, if we need to go into executive session for the next 4, is it 4?
5.
5 personnel items. We can motion to do that, or we can just go through all of them out here in the open session.
Madam President, I can just do a quick overview of the 5 items, and then the board can decide if they would elect to go into executive session for any or all of the items. 4.1 is review, discussion, possible action to approve superintendent contract. At the last board meeting, the governing board approved a 2-year contract extension in the different terms. So we sent the minutes and that conversation and that item to the attorney who drafted the actual written contract. So what you're doing tonight is basically approving the written language of the contract. 4.2 is the hire of a security director position, Mr. Aaron Yazzie. 4.3 is the discussion and possible action to approve the hire of a transportation director, Mr. Tommy McCabe, who just, in the prior item, resigned from his new term, and he's also he is not attending this meeting this evening just to avoid any conflict of interest or impropriety there. And then 4.4 is the retirement of Mr. Bob Tassini, a longtime counselor here at Pinon Unified for personal reasons. And my recommendation to the board is to accept that retirement. And then 4.5 is to approve a resignation of our Pinon High School welding teacher, Mr. Jonathan Smiley. Again, for personal reasons, and in both cases, the resignation letters were attached in your packet. And I would recommend that the board accept that resignation. So that's just sort of an overview of the personnel section.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session on item 4.2.
Mark would like to go into executive session. He makes a motion to go into executive session on item 4.2.
4.2?
Is the security director.
Oh, okay. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, the motion is second for the 4.2. So do you want to take care of that? Well, anyway, all those in favor of going to executive session for 4.2, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Mark votes yes. So
3 in favor, 4, 0 opposed, none abstaining. So executive session for 4.2. So we'll go back to 4.1. After that, we'll go into executive session. Does that sound proper?
well, you could you could do
That's fine with me.
You could do the ones that you don't need executive session for first, and then we could just go into executive session and do that one, because with the Zoom meeting, it's a little easier than transferring people in and out to just do the open session ones first, and then we can go into executive session if that's okay with the board.
Madam Chair? Madam Chair?
Mark? Yes, go ahead, Mark.
Madam Chair? Okay, thank you. Yes, I'd like to make a consent motion, please. My consent motion is to approve personnel item 4.1, the offer of a contract to our superintendent for 2 years for school year 2021 to 2022. Item 4.3, to approve the transportation director hire for Mr. Tommy McCabe for the remainder of this school year 2020-2021, effective January.
It'd be January 4th, because that would be the first day we're back from break.
Correct, effective January 4th, 2021. Item 4.4, the approval of Mr. Bob Tassini's retirement from the middle school. And then finally, item 4.5, the resignation of Mr. Jonathan Smiley as Pinon High School welding teacher. That's my consent motion, Madam Chair.
So It, um, it may have been hard for you to hear so what Mark is motioning is that he's making a consent motion basically to approve 4.1, 4.3, 4.4, and 4.5 just in one motion. That's his motion.
Ramona seconds the motion.
All those in favor say aye.
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 I vote yes.
Okay, 3 in favor. And motion is carried on the 4.1, 4.3, 4.4, and 4.5. Thank you.
Yes.
Now we'll go into executive session for 4.2.
And actually, Mark,
He already motioned. Remember he motioned?
I know. You two can go in, and Tanya, let me do a breakout room, and I will move Mark into the breakout room so we can go in the conference room. So I will do that.
Where's Orlando? Have you spoken with him? He's bad.
I think so. Okay. If not, I will run back and get you. Oh, that's because of that. Sorry about that for those who are listening. Mark, are you back with us out here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And then Gary joined us. He's on the phone, so I don't know. Gary, can you hear us? Okay. Returning from executive. Oh, whoops. We are back for item 4.2, discussion and possible action to approve the hire of a security director for school year 2020-2021, which, because we're halfway through, would be the remainder of this year. Mr. Aaron Yazzie has a specialized certification, step 11, at $64,350. And in talking with Joyce Kosurik, who's the Human Resources Director, she went online and looked, and according to her, the conversation about the fingerprint clearance card, his fingerprint clearance card has been issued by the state. We haven't received the actual card, but online it shows that it has actually been issued. That was updated. I'm not sure what day, but she went online and looked that up. So he does have one.
Madam Chair?
Hello?
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
I can hear you.
Okay, based on the discussion in executive session, I'd like to make a motion to approve hiring Mr. Kervin Begay as the security director and do not offer a contract to Mr. Aaron Yazzie due to the fact that at the point of time when the applicant applied, the applicant did not meet the full requirement of the position.
Okay. But he's not on the list for recommendation. Is there a second?
Because he's not on the agenda, I think you just have to deny this one and then come back at a new meeting with him because we didn't present any of his information or a salary or anything.
I want to make a substitute motion, to approve the hire of security director for school in the remaining of the school year. Mr. Aaron Young, specialized certificate, that's $4,350.
And I understand he does have the certificate. Joyce, I would say copy that certificate or present it to the board. And I'll second that motion.
Madam Chair, I have a question for discussion. Actually, I have a few questions.
Okay, the question to who? Joyce?
On the recommended salary that's posted on the agenda at $64,000, it mirrors the recommended salary that we approved for Mr. McCabe, and the education level of the two are different. So I don't know why this individual will be making the same amount as the transportation director.
the way the salary table reads, it's AA degree or specialized certifications. So the police academy, the different certificates were counted as specialized certifications, so they were put in the same column, or yeah, same column.
This applicant doesn't have no supervisor experience either, so I don't know why he's making the same amount as our transportation director, when our transportation director has, well, enough experience to be a supervisor. The second thing I want to make a comment on is I urge the board to step back and look at your position. You took an oath stating that you were going to uphold the state laws, and the state law requires that these positions have a clearance card, and also the position description also states that things have to be in place. Yet this applicant didn't have everything in place, and yet he was interviewed. And we also have policies that are governing board policies that we should uphold. Those are our policies. We should uphold those policies. And if this goes through and if it's approved, then shame on the two of you for not upholding your responsibility as a member of the board and being the voice of the community.
Joyce,
Remember, the
can you
community
show
voted
that
you
so that
in.
you approved that you have it? Joyce
But
has
at the time when he applied, he didn't have it. At the time when he applied, he didn't have it. He should have been screened out or disqualified.
The fingerprint scanner.
Okay.
Gary, were you able to hear all that on the phone? Okay, so just to recap, there was a motion by Mark Little to hire Kervin Begay instead of Aaron Yazzie. There was no second to that motion. There was a substitute motion made by Ramona Nowwood to hire this individual as presented, and that was seconded by Bessie. So we're still currently in the, I guess, discussion stage. Just to recap for anybody
Give it to him.
yeah. Right. Okay.
Okay, so there's a motion and second made on the substitute motion to go ahead and hire Aaron Yazzie as recommended at the step 11, $64,350.
No.
So that would
I
be
disagree with
prorated.
that. I would like to discuss the salary. That I disagree with that salary amount. That's not fair. The individual has no supervisory experience versus the individuals that we hired for transportation. And he's making just as much as the transportation director.
Mr. Little, Joyce has showed us that he did his application has been approved for the clearance card and all, so it's just a matter of receiving it. What she showed us on, I guess she checked it out.
Nope.
So he has the clearance card to be.
What Board Member Little is asking right now is talking about a discussion of the salary of this of the 64,350, because in that column, based on supervisory experience, Mr. Little, Board Member Little is saying that that salary is too high. I'm trying to find the salary.
I know I'm going to be outvoted on my recommendation or my motion, so therefore I want to discuss the salary on this individual.
Oh,
I don't think that's fair that he's going to be getting 64,000.
That's gonna be prorated, it's not gonna be getting.
He may have, yeah, it's going to be prorated, but still yet, the reality is next year when he gets offered a contract, it's still going to be up there at that same amount. Or if he gets a contract next year.
You should explain that.
It's on the, according to, why don't you explain it? No. That's how it's supposed to work.
Hi, Mr. Little. This is Joyce. Good evening. So we have the specialized certification for Mr. Aaron Yazzie and also 14 years of experience from USMC and also police officer. So he's placed at 64,350. And that's the document that I have sent you.
I understand the whole thing. I understand what's going on. This isn't my first time, looking at salaries and dealing with this. What I'm saying is we got to be fair and put him at a comparable salary where he should be placed. And it's not fair that he's going to be making the same amount as who we just approved as the transportation director, who has a higher level of education and who has some experience as a supervisor. Yes, this individual that's being recommended does have experience in police officer experience, but doesn't have experience of being at a supervisory level.
So what salary is he trying to say?
so what are you what salary are you proposing then?
I'm recommending between about maybe 48 to 50. I'm not sure where it falls on the salary schedule because I'm driving right now.
Well, the salary schedule for this position starts at 55,000.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, that's the no degree step one, starts at 55,000 for the,
So that would be my recommendation then, 55,000.
No. It has to be better than that. He's got many years of
Why?
experience.
Yeah, he's got many years of experience as a police officer, but not as a supervisor. Know that this position as a director, you're a supervisor, and as a supervisor, it has many responsibilities. If he was applying for security officer, then yeah, that would be different.
Well, let's just vote on what the substitute motion says. I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of the substitute motion at hiring Mr. Aaron Yazzie at step 11, 4,350. Say aye.
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 I vote no.
Gary, are you still there?
Yes, aye.
Your vote is aye? Okay.
Okay. The I have it, so, and one opposed, motion is carried.
Adjourn.
All motion to adjourn.
Ramona, motion to adjourn. The motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion. I'll second that motion.
Mark seconds the motion.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Or in favor to adjourn motion. The meeting has been adjourned. Thank you.